Bro on the block where guys don't make it, bro. Got try to give my facelift 2 years back on my bars were tired. Whoa, look now I'm all in their playlist. They fake it till they make it, my time will come, I just gotta be patient. Took it all and that man went low. Part of the
Yo, people, we're here, man. Smash the like on the video. We're here with a Mandem talk. We are in the building. You know them ones there. We had a bit of M. Lizzie, you get me, to keep us going. You know what I'm saying to you? Make sure you check it out. Link is in the description. One of Rhino's artists. Big up Rhino each and every time, man. Let them know, Rhino, man. Let them know.
That's basically Saeed, his new career.
My mic came out. Yeah. Listen, man. M. Lizzie, make sure you check that out. Obviously, first single released 2 months ago. 150,000 streams now. Obviously, the music video is nearly on 100K. This is the latest single, gang. So if you're in South London on Saturday, make sure you pop up. We're doing a pop-up show in Streatham, Morley. So it's going to be lit, man. But keep your eyes on it, man. We're starting off small, man. But there's a lot coming still. So big up Saeed and Amanda for checking it out. Bro.
We're cooking, man. Yeah, man. Come on, we got Planet Vance, you know what I mean? Fresh from holiday. You know, man don't even want to share the holidays out. He's just going holiday after holiday. He's saying, yo, like you, man, suffer in England, innit? You feel me?
Nah, bro, you know, you guys, every day Marcus Rashford, every day Eric Ten Hag, fire for that, man. Lava for that. Let me go and enjoy my holidays. You know what I'm saying? Let me go and catch a tan. Bro, Marcel, man, what's up, man? I can't see your teeth. Smile, man. Let me see them teeth.
Wow,
coaching stuff, bro. We're getting first team managers as coaches. Smile. give me a smile. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Early doors, bro. Early doors.
But you see this picture? That's me. That's me this season. I'm ready with the snipers, Marcel. I'm waiting. Yeah. If I see one thing slacking, I'm on it. Boom.
Nah, big up, man. Big up Marcel, man. Who's in the back now, Marcel? Which player is that?
Bruno, man, of course. Come on, Saeed,
Bruno.
bro.
Nah, come on.
Fernandes, bro.
Come on. Nah, I love
Season's a
that. Love
big
that,
season
man.
for him, bro.
Come
Nah,
on.
big up everyone, man. I'm looking forward to it so far. I wouldn't get too excited, Faz, man. I'm on Ineos watch, really. The next 6 weeks, the next 5 weeks, I'm on Ineos watch, guys. You know, they have to start getting rid of these players. You know, I'm
with you.
And I'm even onto the likes of like, you know, Ericsson, you know, Casemiro, Maguire's. You know, there's players that need to leave, man, so we can free up space for the squad. But I'm happy about the Van Nistelrooy and them things, and I'm sure we're going to get into it today. So big up everyone, man.
Yeah, man. Big up, man. Always. Mr. Structure, what are you telling me, man? You're on mute. What are you saying, bro? Everything blessed?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Big up people. Big up the man, Mandem.
Yeah.
Big up Vaz, that melanin popping, eh? I'm telling you, he got that sun kiss, yeah? Well, it's been sunny for the past 2 days, man. So, yeah, I'm grateful of the sun always. In Manchester, but yeah, big up Rants, Marseille, big up Rhino. Yeah, the music is lit, man, bro. It's lit.
Come on, yeah, man. Check it out. Come on, defo, man.
Big up FNR Beats as well in the chat. He produced the beat. They produced the beat as
well.
Yeah,
come on. Big up to him, man. Big up to my guy here. Come on, man. Always.
Two of them.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, big up, people.
Man, big up, man. Big up Rants in the building as well. Rants, what are you saying?
Come on, bro. Man's good, bro. Man's good. Man's just chilling, fam. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into this. Find out who this geezer is. I can't lie, bro. This other guy, bro. I don't know nothing about him.
Same.
Bro, I'm not excited. I can't lie. I'm not excited. I'm not excited by it. You know what I mean? I think there's too much going on, bro. Sometimes too much going on is just as bad, isn't it?
Yeah. I hear you. And Najee, man, how did you get the kit early, man? What's going on? You're not plugging the Mandem. What's going on here, man?
You've been plugging you lot from early, man. You never reach out though. Come on now. So, it's fire though.
Show the kit.
Go on, wait there.
Yeah, it looks decent.
Stand up the whole thing, bro.
Yeah, that's calm, you know.
Yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
The old Adidas,
logo. Yeah,
logo. Yeah.
The blue one, though, I can't lie, bro. I've got it here, man. The blue one.
Bro, the blue one looks crazy, bro.
I don't rate the blue one, man. I'll be honest.
Nah,
it's like
bro.
T20, bro.
Nah. It's got the collar on it, bro. I need that still.
You rate it?
I like collars on football kits, bro. That's my thing.
You know what it is? Yeah. I think if you didn't have you see the M's and stuff inside it. If you didn't have that, I'd be all right with it. But that's what makes it like a cricket thing for me.
Yeah, but you can't really see that, I guess, from a distance, innit? It's only
to be fair, it's like a shine plastic with loads of M's in it. So, but yeah, man, I prefer the white one than the red thing. I'll be honest. But yeah, man, I'm good though. I'm good. How's everyone getting on?
Yeah, man, all blessed, man. Can't complain, man. We're just chilling.
I see my guy Faz Minders to return, man. The man like Mike Owen on the players you pay contract. Let's go. Big up. Hey, shout out to Faz as well, man. Man, plug me my shirt, bro. So big up. Not this shirt, but next one. Yeah, shout out to Faz, bro.
Now, big up, man. We got 1,000 people here as well, man. So you lot smash a like on the video. We got a lot to talk about. We got Greenwood to Marseille, Sancho loan. We got some transfer news. Rashford, for some reason, getting linked to Saudi Arabia and PSG. I don't think he's going anywhere, but we'll touch on that one. But the main one is the news about the new coaching staff. Manchester United plan to add go-ahead Eagles manager Rene Hake to new coaching staff for next season. Hake and Ruud van Nistelrooy are expected to be new additions to Erik ten Hag's staff. Club side confident and ready to get new contracts signed for Erik ten Hag and new staff. For those that don't know who this brother is, there's a little clip of him, I think at the former where he was at Go Ahead Eagles, innit? And basically, this is
fucking hell! Hey, come out! I think you have to tell something to the guys, or not? Instead of with your head down. You fucked up the game. 2 stupid yellow cards. There's one. And second, it's also when I put extra defender in. Fucking shit! Don't give away the first zone. Play 3 against 2 in the middle, and he gets a goal. It's unbelievable.
There you go.
Is this some movie or something? What's going on?
No,
that's going to be us, blood, when they do our Amazon documentary at the end of the season, blood.
Oh my God, he's on business.
Bro,
That's why these men are spotting people in it that are.
Cards, you know.
That's why they're plotting people that they can make documentaries about, innit? So my guy's already, that's his casting tape, mate. That's what he put forward, mate.
Hey, nah, listen, man. I don't know much about him. Like I said, I don't know where Go Ahead Eagles are in the league positions wise, in the second division or first division. I don't know where they are. Do you know what I mean? But, bro, Ruud van Nistelrooy, you know what I mean? Start off with you, Marcel. Ruud, now, thingy, this is now time to work. We need to see the style of play now. You know what I mean? The intricacies, no more 3-1-6. I need to see style of play. Van der Gaag and Benny McCarthy. I think Stephen McCarron, I think, is going as well. So they're out the door. Listen, now it's time to work, Marcel, man. Chat to us. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think you know, Ruud van Nistelrooy coming part of the club is always going to be a positive, man. Especially you know, in terms of us, you know, going forward, breaking down 2 banks of 4, someone like killer striker, someone like Højlund. I know we're still trying to get a forward in and never forward in, but someone like Højlund learning off of a Ruud van Nistelrooy, that can only be positive. That's one of them ones where you always have to do is just keep quiet and soak in all the information that you can get from him. Every single word that he's telling you, that's a world-class striker. So, you know, that's a positive in terms of our attacking play. I don't, like everyone's been saying, I don't know about anything about this new manager, but you know, it seems like, you know, someone that looks like a little bit of a disciplinarian, or you know, knows how to discipline players. There's a bit of shouting there, but that's nothing. You know, it's gonna have to, what can you do for us now? You know, that means nothing at Go Ahead Eagles. You know, it's about what can you do at Manchester United, and really the same for Ruud as well. What can he do to affect the games here at Manchester United? It also shows kind of the direction that Ineos want to go in now. They've taken away elements of what Ten Hag would have wanted or selected for his management staff, and they've tried to better that. So let's see if it can make the improvements. But you know, sorting out some sort of a good coach. I think Benny McCarthy was a good footballer in his day, but Ruud van Nistelrooy level. That's a different kind of level. So again, you know, maybe putting someone there that's more potent in terms of, you know, in the forward line and understanding the game in that way, I think that's a very good sign. But, you know, this is all small talk right now, like we've all kind of been saying. It's when the whistle blows for the 38 games of the season, what's going to happen. So there's so much more work to be done before that, though, and I'm really worried about the outgoings. So,
We'll touch on the outgoings, definitely. The only thing is anyone asked about the fact that he's SEG agency, like, you know, the fact that, you know, it's one of Ten Hag's. Me and Rance talked about it before, but was it something?
Don't you think it's a bit? It's a sorry to. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's hard to kind of decide how you want to look at this. You know, at the end of the day, they are making their moves. For me, like I'm going to keep saying, as long as they get the right pieces of the puzzle, I'm happy. You know, I'm trying to steer away from thinking if there are any conspiracies, but I can't help but think that why is it another Dutchman again, and all of these kind of questions. Like maybe it's going to help in terms of fluid, like being fluid in terms of the communication. Maybe that works if they all communicate in the same language and whatever, and they can relay that to the players on the pitch and whatever. Obviously, you got Van Nistelrooy, the respect and his positional awareness was probably one of the best you've seen. Like he knows where to be. He knows where to be. Sometimes he even can. He's got a good sense of knowing where the ball's going to land and all of that. You know what I mean? And get these little goals and stuff. And his technical ability is great as well. But I don't know, man. Is it true though? What is it? Is it true?
Hey, bro, I'll be honest. From how it looks to me, Van Nistelrooy is not here to replace Benny McCarthy. Like Benny McCarthy is gone in it. Like I believe that Ruud van Nistelrooy was brought in by Ineos, and what it looks like, this other guy was somebody that Ten Hag wanted. That's what it looks like. It looks like to me that it was they probably said, yo, we want to bring someone else in. Yeah. And he goes, all right, cool. Well, if we're doing a reshuffle, can I have one of my guys? And they said, all right, cool. Because, bro, there has to be some give and take in the situation. Because they've come in, they basically said, yo, we're going to take some power away from you. We're doing a new structure here, so we want to bring our people in. And he's probably said, all right, cool. If I'm losing this person, can you at least give me someone else? That's what it looks like, because when you look at this guy's credentials and stuff like that, he doesn't seem like Ineos headhunted him and specifically wanted him. I can see why they want Ruud van Nistelrooy, because Ruud van Nistelrooy is an ex-Man United player. He's Dutch, and he's had successes as well. Like, he's won a couple trophies. So he's not it makes sense from a convenient point of view. The fans will be happy to see Ruud. A lot of fans will be more hyped for having Ruud than for keeping a manager, bro. Like, Ruud van Nistelrooy is Ruud van Nistelrooy. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like bringing in Oli, but with trophies.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So it's one of them ones where it's a good middle ground for Ineos. They brought in a competent coach. that already has history at the club. He has common ground with the current manager because they're both Dutch. It just looks like it makes a lot of sense. This other thing doesn't look like it's an Ineos appointment. It looks like Ten Hag said, you know what? I know this brother. I think he can work here. He signed to Ten Hag's son's agency. This seems like they said, you know what? We'll give you one. You know what I mean? We're going to bring someone in and we can let you have one. And bro, it's a compromise. Compromises have to be made because Ten Hag's the loser in this deal by staying for sure because he's relinquishing power. So he's got to feel like he's gaining something.
You know that's a good point. You know, Nodi, you're gonna say something there. You put your hand in there.
Yeah. So, listen. First of all, I'd be very shocked if Ten Hag lets go of Michel van der Gaag because Van der Gaag had the chance to go back to Ajax and manage Ajax, and he stayed. So, if he snakes him in it when he stayed loyal to him, I'll be shocked at that. At the moment, these are just links, and we know what Fabrizio's like. So, for me, the Rude thing's been going on for a lot longer than my guys who have been linked with today. So, I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt in terms of, for me, when I look at Ruud van Nistelrooy, I see an insurance policy from Ineos that if things go pear-shaped, they've got somebody who's ready-made to step into the role of the interim role for Manchester United. So he is that guy again. Is somebody the fans love, and the majority of the fans love, even though some of them don't know what my guy was doing when he was at Old Trafford. But we can speak about that later. Because so many people don't know what my guy was doing, the madness my guy was doing. And how much he had to beg and apologise to Fergie when he came back. He literally had to come to Manchester and apologise to Fergie. Because him and his agent, the way they were moving, every year they were there, they would try to get a move to Real Madrid. But it is what it is. For me, we wanted new coaches, but for me, I'm not satisfied.
Is it one of them though? Too many chefs in the kitchen, or is it?
No, it's not. Manchester United need coaches. Listen. We've had coaches.
You need coaches,
we still got coaches from Jose Mourinho and backroom staff. So we need to clear all the backroom stuff for me from other managers. All those guys need to go, and Ineos need to bring their people in. But the biggest thing I'm testing, signing people is easy. Any of us on this panel will just need numbers of agents and then numbers of players speaking to them or coaches or whatever. We could sign anybody you want. The biggest thing for me is Ineos. The test is that how many players they're getting rid of, man. What they're doing with the restructuring the wage bill. What are they doing in terms of the types of recruitment in the different departments of the football team that we need? But we already see, you know what I mean? We bring it in, what they're doing, the recklessness what they're doing to the women's team, and how all of the women's team, majority of they're losing all the best players. And they've kicked them out of the training ground as well. So let's not get all, you know what I mean, hyped. I'm glad that Marcel, there ain't nobody else watched than me, bro. So for me, I see it. I said, okay, that's interesting. And just because you get my guys who shout and stuff like that, that don't mean fuck all, mate. It means fuck all because Eric Ten Hag was doing that. You know what I mean? So when people are like, oh yeah, Rude is truth teller, I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. Listen, people are grown now, man. People are multi-millionaires already with their second contract. So ain't nobody. People can just move on. So at the end of the day, I'm not about this hype. I'm about what I see when that first game, or what I see in the preseason, and what I see when the first game of the Premier League kicks off. That's what I'm on about. I'm on about that. Is Eric Ten Hag going to do a 360 and learn from all the bullshit he's showing us the last 2 years? Or is it back to the same bullshit? That's what we're watching for. And Ineos, they have to clear out a lot more people. This idea that we got that Driscoll guy from Arsenal and we're getting an Arsenal physio, what the fuck are we? Arsenal rejects FC, is that what we are now? Is that how much the bar is that fucking low? For me, the injury and rehab team needs to be cleared out. You know, all those people need to clear out as well. So all the coaches that Ollie brought in, all those need to go as well. Manchester United need to modernise. But that's my 2 pence. But in terms of Van Nistelrooy, yeah, the reason why they've done it is like Rand said, because he's a big name and he's a favourite of the fans. Even though majority of fans don't know what my guy was doing, him and his agent were doing every season.
Yeah, no, facts, 100%, man. Listen, I think for me, the main benefit of this is the coaching. The coaching side of this has to be better. I think that's all we want to see. We want to see better coaching. But like I said, we spoke about it before on Rance's show. He's got a contract. He needs to get something for the contract. So that coach there is a guy that he knows. I think the Ruud van Nistelrooy's got to be the club signing. You know what I mean? He's probably someone that they probably value and say, you know what, can you come to United? Would you want to come to my United? So they have to make themselves they have to meet in the middle. That's to be a mutual agreement somewhere down the line. You see what I'm trying to say? So I think the benefit for me is that we have better coaches in. I don't know, possibly. Van der Gaag, I don't know what his role was, to be honest with you. McLaren, was he here just for the vibes? I don't know. Brendan McCarthy, that man ousted him.
I don't think McLaren's done any coaching. I'll be honest. Like, I don't think he's done any. I think he's had a similar role to Mick Phelan in the sense where their man are just there because they were there before. Like, there's nothing about this Man United team that feels like McLaren's had anything to do with it. And it's not that I don't rate McLaren as a coach, because he's got something to add as a coach. Yeah. But I just don't think he's there for that. I think he was there for nostalgia purposes only.
Yeah. It's like the Hasselbank thing, Hasselbank for England.
For England.
Just there. Do you know what I mean?
It's almost like it's almost like an ambassador thing, like I'm just there. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep. Used to work for Fergie. You know what I mean?
So yeah, because we haven't had anything of that ilk from Quay, let me bring someone who knows about that era to bring it back. Like, that's stupidity, man. Stupidity. But and that's not to disrespect him. Like, obviously, he's just the wrong decision in it. Like, you don't have to. Some bad decision don't have to be disrespected. Like, it's just the wrong decision. It is what it is.
For sure.
Someone, I don't know which report it was, if someone can remind me, but there was a report that said an ex-player or someone was saying that this team has not even got an ounce of Steve McLaren's coaching involved. Yeah. A certain ex-player said it. I forgot.
No, I think it might have been Rooney or one of them lot, because they did say that they rate Steve McLaren as a coach, and they can tell that he hasn't had his hand in this. And
hand on it.
It's very obvious. It's very obvious, bro. This guy coach for Sir Alex Ferguson. He's not a muppet. As much as people can laugh about him, he's got pedigree. Steve McLaren. He's not. Do you know what I mean? He's not a joker, bro.
And when Staff brought him in as well, don't forget, in the documentary, in the United documentary, McLaren mentions it himself, that I asked Sir Alex Ferguson, what do you want me to do? And he said, I brought you from, where was it, Derby or somewhere? I brought you from wherever I brought you. Whatever you did there, do what you did there with the lads here. Simple. That's all I want you to do. You don't rejuvenate or nothing. But the thing is, these guys are now bringing in these are first team managers, by the way, Ruud and this other guy who's coming in. These are first team managers who have other people working under them. There's a saying, and the saying goes, too many cooks spoil the broth. People can get excited thinking these are high level coaches and managers that are coming in to help out and stuff. But let's be deadly honest, guys, there can only be one head honcho of the club. There can only be one person. That's one thing, right? Like, look at top clubs, Klopp, Pep, Ancelotti, head honchos of the club. They have their people listen to them. Watching Ancelotti live, I firsthand got to experience how he deals with his team in game. He speaks to his staff speak to the players. There's a clear hierarchy. Bringing in people like Ruud and this other guy from Go Ahead Eagles, it might sound very glamorous, but few things to consider. One, Ineos are bringing these people in, and Ineos could have an input on these people, on how the football is being played, which could also lead to friction between Erik ten Hag and these managers. Do you get? Because Ineos are hiring these people, not Erik ten Hag. These people are coming in under Ineos' structure, on their order, on their command. Wilcox himself had to tell Eric, change the style of play, change this, do that. Now they're bringing in coaching staff that they have control over, and it's almost like isolating Erik ten Hag. I'll be honest. And I'm not saying it's good or bad or whatever, but just pay attention that there might be friction because, bro, they're bringing in their own coaches.
Yeah, but I think that's why they let Ten Hag pick a coach, because they probably said, you know what, we're bringing one in. Like, here's the olive branch. You can choose one. Do you know what I'm saying? I believe that the second guy was Eric Ten Hag's pick, even though he is going to be under Ineos's control. I think that's their way of saying, you know what, we want to bring in our guy. We'll let you have your guy. Because either way, they're still going to dictate the style of play. That's what Wilcox's job is. His job is to create a certain style of football that's going to be played throughout the whole club, from the youth team all the way to the top. So they're going to have to implement that football style of play regardless of who the coach is. So they're basically just saying to Ten Hag, you can have one of your guys. Like they're all going to have to report to Ineos anyway.
Yep.
First
they're all going to have to.
In as coaching staff is always going to be, because these guys are used to having power.
Of course.
Ruud van Nistelrooy is used to, he's in PSV, won 2 trophies. This guy's used to having power or some sort of authority. Now he's coming and he has to be being under, Eric Ten Hag. And if the season don't go well, all I'm saying is if the season don't go well, I will not be surprised if you start seeing reports of friction and disagreements and shit like that. I will not be surprised at all. Funnily enough, it took end of the season until the Athletic report to come out and then say, oh, Ineos froze Eric Ten Hag out of meetings. Ineos froze Eric Ten Hag out of transfer talks, out of this, out of that. When I was saying it during the season, people didn't want to buy it. They didn't believe it. But end of the season, Athletic report comes out saying, yo, they froze him out. I'm just saying this looks like 4D chess to me. They got him on watch.
You know what it is as well, though? I think it's also about communication, though, as well, man. I think Van Nistelrooy probably, he speaks more fluent English than Ten Hag. I think this brother that comes in now probably speaks a bit more fluent English. And the players, for some reason, the message ain't getting across. Either the players are down in tools or the message ain't getting across. And that's why they're bringing in people saying, right, we need to get this message across. The communication ain't right. Maybe the way Ten Hag deals with certain situations might not be great. And therefore, Van der Gaag is not someone who maybe speaks fluently as well. Tim McCarron is there. But again, what say does he really have? I do believe there's a communication kind of, there's some sort of miscommunication there, and they're trying to figure it out. And that's why they thought, let me bring this man in and let's reshuffle it a little bit. Let's see if the players engage in training. Let's see if the players have that level of charisma to want to learn and to want to build an identity here. So I feel like all of them things included are a reason why they're trying to change things around. They're making a holistic approach to everything right now. They're doing a massive turnaround. Staff who are not meant to be here, you go. Do you know what I mean? So Ineos are coming in, whether you like it or not, and they're trying to say, yo, bro, what's happening right here ain't working. And they're just systematically changing everything, man. And you know what I mean? Time will tell. Like I said, nothing's happened just yet, but I think there are positive signs now that they're coming in to be, let's make a change here. You see what I mean, Mandem? So we'll have to wait and see, man.
And 100%. The thing that I would say, my first instinct was the Ruud van Nistelrooy is a backdoor site hiring, because if they're not happy with Ten Hag, the guy's there, and nothing has showed me that that's not the case. I genuinely don't think that, and for him to think, okay, the only thing that makes me, I think, if you're gonna get another coach, is also to get somebody who's actually has coached in the Premier League, because we know about Eric. To me, Eric Ten Hag's forever put me off any Dutch managers and coaches because he's shown me what you do in Eredivisie. The Premier League is a different beast, mate. And to me, he's showing his ass in the way that Manchester United have been playing. I just want to ask just one question. I know that it's been suggested loads of times, but is it true that Wilcox has asked them to change the structure of play?
Yeah, it's been reported by the Athletic.
Yeah, it's been reported, bro. That's been confirmed, bro. His job, part of Wilcox's job, is to decide how we're gonna play and draw up ways of implementing it. That's why they were saying, even as much down to how often the team trains, what time they train, that's all out the hands of the coach. That's all down to Jason Wilcox now. completely. Identifying what players make the transition and who's ready to move from the youth team into the first team setup, the profile of players that we should be recruiting for the team. He's going to be a big part of that, bro. So the coach doesn't have as much input as he has. So it's a completely different job.
But I thought that was going to be Dan Ashworth's job. So you're thinking Jason Wilcox stepped into that role already?
No, Dan Ashworth is for recruitment, but Wilcox is the football guy. Do you know what I mean? Ashworth is the recruitment guy. So Wilcox is the guy that decides the
identity and that.
The identity, exactly.
How the team is shaped.
So Wilcox is basically technical director. I thought Dan Ashworth was going to be the technical director.
Wilcox is the football director, so it's the football stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's basically the brain behind everything.
Football technical director. Technical.
Yeah.
That means then you dictate. You basically like dictating the way that a club wants to play, the style of play, the players that you sign.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
there's a gaming model that he wants throughout the club, innit? He's the one that's responsible for planning that, designing that. And that's why when you look at the targets, the kind of players we want, we specifically want a centre forward, that can link play. So players like Rashford, players like Bruno can run beyond them because Rasmus doesn't fit that model. So even the style of player that we're looking for, and the reason why Rasmus was dropped towards the end of the season and we tried McTominay there and we tried Bruno there, is because he's looking for a player that can play in that false nine, because that's how man want to get the best out of the players we have. So Ten Hag's not really going to have any say in the recruitment. He's not going to have any say in the style of play. He's the coach. You know what I mean? He's been given a plan and he has to implement it. So it'll be interesting in seeing how he implements the plan.
AG, what are you saying, man, about this? The whole changes. Let me know what you're saying.
I mean, it's a difficult one for me personally, you know, because I like certain details before I can say something. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what their identity is and what Ineos are coming through with. I don't know that. So I can't sit here and say, oh, I'm going to base my opinion now based on what I think Ten Hag's style of football is going to be, because me personally, structure first. So if their structure is saying, okay, and bear in mind that I put in the factor that they've had conversations with Ten Hag in order for him to sign a new contract, I'm anticipating, could be wrong, it's an assumption, I'm anticipating that his style of football is going to have to change now, or something will have to change drastically. And not only that, he's also going to have to work within the coaching facility teams that he's got and the recruitment team to be able to solidify that plan. So he must have accepted a level of change, whether that's in power and or in style of play. The foundations and stuff, that could be a different conversation, maybe. But until I know personally what that style is and what they're looking for, I have to only trust the structure knows what they're doing, because they're doing the ones who ultimately know what they're looking for. So with the recruitment side of Van Nistelrooy, I get the surface level, and I don't say that disrespectfully, but I get the surface level of first thought is ex-Man United, legend, keeps everyone happy, I get that. And I'd understand that if Ineos weren't in charge. But given the cutthroat behaviour they've been doing behind the scenes, Man City's Omar, what's his name? Omar
Brother.
Thank you, yeah, given the fact that they swiped for him first and they went to the top dog in Man City, to me, they ain't messing around, I'll be honest. That's a big statement. Like it or not, that's a big statement. It's your first major signing to sort out the structure. So I think they've been consistent enough to say, you know what? We're not joking about this. Is what I want. And Ten Hag, you've got to fall in line, because there's no way that conversation that they've had was only positive. And there's no way they're not going to go in there and say, I need you to change up your game in some things you're doing. There are some things I appreciate. I can appreciate simple situations you found yourself in, and you've probably done well to win trophies given the situations. However, there are certain things that, just as a structure, whether we like it or not, does not fit with what we want. And I think that's the only reason they've probably signed Ten Hag an extension on his contract, because they're looking at it going, we need a new style of football. Can you play this? And if they've chosen my man, then I have faith that they've chosen based on good grounds. And they've tried to iron out the deficiencies. So Saeed, you're talking about the communication. Do you know what I mean? Those little things there, all weaknesses of Ten Hag, or perceived weaknesses that definitely need to improve. So it's not like, oh, he's getting off with it, because respectfully, that I believe Ineos trying to put Man United back where it should be. So why would you be all sentimental and, you know, pussyfooting around getting rid of a manager if you genuinely didn't really want him? If you're being cutthroat in other areas, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to be cutthroat with a manager. I don't get that personally. So yeah, I just and I'll finish on this. I know I rant a little, but I'll just finish on the simple fact that until I know the style of play that we want, I can start having more of an opinion on the recruitment and why they've done what they've done. All I can say is that this looks Ineos-led as opposed to more manager and coaching-led, which I'm personally happy with because, again, my prerogative has always been structure over everything else. That's me, bro.
Yeah. Marcel, what do you think in terms of the style of play now? Is this it now this season? Are you looking for that now? We always talk about, do you know what I mean? Right, Chelsea trying to get Dewsbury Hall, you know. These men are trying to get everyone, you know.
Yeah, well, Maresca, I knew Maresca would go in for him.
He's a baller, you know, Dewsbury Hall.
He is, bro. He is. We should have been looking at him.
Play to Chelsea, man. Fucking hell, mate. Yeah,
it's gonna go crashing down though, Saeed, man. They're making too much signings, man. And if they don't pick up trophies, then it's gonna be crashing.
Oh yeah, there's no chemistry at Chelsea, bro. They do things the wrong way around, innit? They want to sign all these players, but it's like nah, and that's what we need to do as well. The coach is more important than just buying sake.
Players, yeah, we need to see people in the place we've got right now. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest, man. But that style of play, Marcel, man, because like I said, that's what I'm very, very keen on, like many others. You know what I mean? Next year's style of play. What do you want to see in terms of the third year now with the two coaches now, like in terms of coming in? What do you think?
No, it's a good question because I agree with what Najee saying. We can't jump ahead of the gun and say, okay, you know, it's going to be like this based on what Ten Hag's done before. But we can take elements of what he has done before in terms of what he's been able to coach within the team. You know, we had a really good defensive record. You know, he coached, you know, a decent structure of defense. Yes, with his coaching staff that are now gone, but we can assume that he could be able to maybe recreate that, you know, in the first season. And you know, we have been able to do, you know, good passing moves and seeing, you know, passing patterns in times as well. So hopefully can add some of that to what the game model will be under Wilcox. I just think I feel like we're getting into a stage now where we're going to be a bit more adaptable, you know, against the superior teams. We've seen Wilcox happy to try and, you know, give us a game model that's more, you know, counter-attacking or defensive and based on, you know, protecting the space. And hopefully, you know, with someone like Ruud van Nistelrooy coming in and Ten Hag's kind of high risk, high reward systems that he likes to play, hopefully against weaker teams, we can try and be more expansive and try and go for high scoring games and score more goals. But you know, it looks like it's going to be more sensible than what Ten Hag was doing. You know, similar to what you were saying before, Saeed, in the sense of, you know, what works in the Eredivisie just might not work in the Premier League. And now he's got people that can understand that for him and communicate that to him. You know, it should be more positive going forward. I'm heavy on Ineos watch right now. They have to get those outgoings because regardless of what the game model is going to be in the style of play, I think we as fans know that there's so many players that are not going to get us first or second position in this league. You know, we know that there's a good 4 or 5 players that we've seen under previous managers that you know, regardless of what style, if it's a counter-attacking based style, possession based style, we know that those players are not going to be good enough, you know. And if we are going to try and be playing front foot forward, if that's what Wilcox decides, or Ineos, should I say, decide that the style is going to be, a Maguire, you know, and Eriksen, is he going to be dynamic? He's going to have the legs for it. Casemiro, is he still available? Lindelof's still around, and we're expecting to win the Premier League or the second place, coached under Ten Hag and co. It's just not going to be, you know, suffice. So the outgoings this summer window, you know, as fans, every single week that goes by, we should be really checking in and saying, well, what are they doing? You know, who have they brought in? And more importantly, who have they got rid of? And, you know, Neriden was saying it before at times, and I think everyone was as well, but they're going to have to take some losses then. You know, yeah, you know, the Ed Woodwardness meant that you spent 80 million, but you're gonna have to take 30 million for him now and get him off the books because he's not good enough. You know, the likes of Sancho, you know, the Ed Woodwardness spent 80 million on that, a waste of money, but you're gonna have to take 40 or 30 million now. It's just what you're gonna have to do. You know, so it's one of them ones where how serious are Ineos in the market this season? And over the next 5 or 6 weeks,
you can't really blame them for the situation in terms of the, you know, recuts, because obviously Glazers spent reckless amount of money. You can't really blame them this year, but the outgoings, they can be smart in that. They have to be, you know, like saying, yo, stern approach, you're leaving, you need to find another club. Do you know what I mean? Like, you make it clear, yo, these men are on the out list. You're on the out list, and that's it.
I agree with you.
Yeah, go on.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you, and it's one of the ones where but at the same time, the only grace that I'm gonna give them is a Euro. There's a Euros going on. It's got to be so hard maybe to get deals done during the Euros. So that's
bro, it's not the Euros, Marcel. It's the fact that the FFP rolls over from the 1st of July, so no one's doing business before that. The only teams doing business now are the teams that really need to get rid of players, so they don't get deducted points, so they don't get fined. So we're not really going to see anything before the 1st of July anyway. Like, Man United are in talks to recruit. I don't believe that we're behind in that. It's just that we don't know how much we have to spend yet. That's all. Because we need to sell Mason Greenwood. We need to try and get some money for Sancho if we can. We need to try and move on Lindelof or Wan-Bissaka. At the moment, we don't know if Cass is leaving. Cass wants to leave, and the club are open to letting him go, but we don't know if he's going to get the move he wants. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's bare things that we're waiting on. So I think as it stands, we only have enough money maybe for a striker and a centre back. That's all we have. All the other signings are going to be. What's that?
How many do you think will leave? How many players?
I think Cass definitely leaves because Cass is on big money, so United will really want him to leave, and also he wants to leave. Him and the manager's relationship's broken down, and that's not going to repair. So I think Cass leaves. I think one of Lindelof or Wan-Bissaka leave, not both of them, because I don't know how we replace Wan-Bissaka purely based on the fact that we're not going to get a better player than him, for the money that we'll have to spend. So for me, you can keep him for one more year. It doesn't make sense getting rid of him. Lindelof, we can move Lindelof. Donny van der Beek.
Right, it's looking.
If we do move Donny van der Beek on, we're getting no money for him. Like, let's be honest,
next to none.
No money. We might get
5 million.
5 million or something. We're getting no money from him. So the money that we're taking a massive loss on him. So
the biggest money you're getting is Greenwood this summer, I think, for me.
But Mason Greenwood and even the Jadon Sancho thing will be another loan with an obligation to buy at the end, and we're going to take a massive loss on him because he'll go out on loan, he'll do well, and the team that gets him is going to get him for a cut price because they know we're desperate. People need to understand right now, like the situation we're in isn't on Ineos. And to a certain degree, the situation we're in, we're now feeling the remnants of lockdown. Because remember, Man United, the first time Man United were making a loss, was in lockdown. Remember, they didn't furlough no one. Their man was still paying their staff. We got the biggest match day revenues in the country, and there was no tickets being sold.
Yeah, facts.
So because of that, we lost out pretty much 2 years. We were in the red for 2 years. And now, because of the new rules, they need to get the money back somehow. So now, and then when you look at the bad spending under Ten Hag as well, 400+ million, and out of all the players we've spent, all the players we brought in, none of them are even worth what we paid for them now. Anthony's not worth what we paid for him. Mason Mount's not worth what you paid for him.
Yeah,
like we're making a loss on all these players.
Yeah, big up.
I think this is the maddest thing though, because, and again, don't get it twisted. You start
to hold it there 1 second. I just want to comment what Eric Ten Hag says. So I've got a couple of quotes here that somebody sent it to me the other day, and this is some sort of interview that Eric Ten Hag did, right? So they asked, this is his quotes, He says, the prices paid for the players are indeed very high, but I'm not responsible for that. The club did all the negotiation, including with the very good potential players who didn't come in the end. And then he continues to say, he says, so it's all a bit more nuanced than the picture that's being painted, that the purchase policy is disastrous. It's all negative. But despite all the problems, the foundations at the club has grown stronger. That may not be visible to the outside world now, but everyone internally will make that analysis. And it's the last bit of that quote. He says, with talents like Kobe, stop it now. Stop it. And Alexandro Garnacho, stop it. Hoyland, also someone like Amad Diallo, the guy that you didn't want and didn't want to fucking play.
Yeah.
He says, who has developed very strongly the future looks bright. So that's just going off what Rance was saying.
Hey, bro, here's my problem with that, Nuruddin. My problem with that is everyone in here, like no matter how experienced you are in business, everyone's bought a pack of Pokemon cards or something like that. Everyone understands how business works. Everyone is like, yo, cool, I want that, but not for that price. Everyone's been there. They might have a bridging that's selling a pair of trainers. Yo, I got some Air Max. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, do you want them? Yeah, it depends. How much you selling them for?
How much you selling them?
Yeah, bro, that's it. So don't tell me I'm not responsible for the price of the players. You're not. But then you could do what Van Gaal said. Say, yeah, I do. I want a left back, but for that money, I'll just go in the youth team and get one. That you are allowed as a manager to say, I do want Anthony, but I don't want him for 90 million. You're allowed to say that, because if Man United come to you, the manager, and they say, we've got 90 million pounds, you need a left winger and a centre back. You've told me you want both of them. But they've said to me that Anthony's going to cost 90. So if you have Anthony, you can't get your centre back. You as the manager can say, you know what, for 90 million, I don't want Anthony. I need another centre back. Get me a cheaper left winger because I need a centre back. If Man United could have got Anthony for 55 million and then all of a sudden it's 90 million, you as a manager can say, actually, for 90, nah, there's better things we could spend the money on. Yeah, cool. You're not responsible for the price, but the fact that you've sanctioned it because you've told us all you've got the power of veto and you've got the last word. So because you've sanctioned the 90 million signing, no one's talking about Anthony if he's playing like a 90 million pound player. No one. Because no one's talking about Declan Rice is 100 million because Arsenal challenged for the league, even though he's not worth that. People only talk about price tags when players are not performing at a level.
Not performing well, facts.
And that's it. Like, these price tags not the point
I was trying to make though before.
At the 15th of July, 15th of July or 15th of June.
Sorry, let me just land the point.
He was worth 55 million. Just saying about he was worth 55 million.
Yeah, there you go.
Anthony was worth 55 million.
Yeah, but this is the point structure.
And then he came out at the end when he's left the club. He came out and when they were asked about how come you charge that amount of money to Manchester United, he said, you know what? Because of the time in the late, we just added on, and they kept saying, yeah. We kept adding on another.
And also, Anthony, remember, Anthony forced the move.
Yeah, he told you the same thing about Fred. I told you the same thing about under different managers. This is the whole
with Fred,
point
we were competing with other teams, though. We weren't competing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that in the sense of competition. What I'm saying is, in terms of a well-run structure, this is why you have number twos. This is why you have specific people in the background to go, you know what, brethren, you can't have this player. Same way Klopp and Salah. I mean, the most popular thing is Salah because it's the more obviously he's achieved what he's achieved. But Klopp wasn't looking at Salah. Let's be honest. It was the backroom staff and the people in charge going, listen, boy, we're not going to get your first choice, but Salah is your next one. Respect. This is where I give a blight to Ten Hag. And this is every other manager as well. So it's not just Ten Hag specifically, it's every other manager. When they've walked into Man United, they've come into a how can I put it? A commercialized club as they like to brand it. So it's on the manager, and it's always been on the manager up until this point to make these decisions. Do I agree with it or not? Whether I agree with it or not, that's how it's been. So again, we're not going to see a Sir Alex Ferguson anymore. We're not going to see that. But respectfully, what they're after and what we're after as fans is a Sir Alex Ferguson because we know they can't run the football club properly. So every manager coming in is going to make these wild decisions. This is just facts. And sadly, the manager have to bear the brunt of certain things where really there should be something for him to have either a number two or even the people in the director board, their recruitment to go, you know what? This player, this is our budget. Yes, you want this player. Cool. But based on our system, based on our profiles, these are the selections you can have. Have a look at these type of players and which one do you think you can work best with? Because the structure has to be in agreement on all the players first before the manager. Has to be. In this day and age, has to be. And then they have to provide that to the manager, in my opinion. I feel like that's the best way to do it. And I think that's what most teams do. Because then, therefore, they're then sticking with the structure and the system of what they want. And then the manager can then pick his best out of what the structure have chosen. That way, there's no issues. Because then it's a case of, okay, you can't work with these lot, we'll get a new manager. No stress. That's how it should be. But we haven't had that. So when the manager's coming in, buying or selecting certain profiles and players, yes, we can have the conversation all day and say whether you got it right or wrong. When it comes to how much is being spent, like we keep saying, well, I keep saying, speak for myself. This is where I try to put the accountability on the structure that we've not had. because it's fucking us over, and it fucks the next manager over, and the next manager. Because not only is it just a bad signing on the pitch, we then no longer can get rid of them for either the price that we pay or for the wages that they're on. And then that profile also doesn't suit the next manager they bring in, because that manager wants to play a different style of football. So now we're just left with, I think someone mentioned Lindelof, really maybe Marseille. We're left with this over and over again. So every manager that's coming has to then undo the fuckeries from before, which is just over and over. And this is why, again, don't get me wrong, I'm not siding with the negatives of Ten Hag. I've agreed with everything that's ever been said about him, and I do, because it's logical. But there is a blind line there for me where I go, under a structure, any manager, I believe, can do 50% better over a space of 2-3 seasons, because one, he gets less power, which I think we can all agree Ten Hag needs to have less power in certain areas, so he can just focus on his main role. And I think any manager in that situation, even better managers that we've had prior Ten Hag, which I believe there have been two, especially free on a CV basis. If we give them this structure, I think you get better results anyway. So I don't think it's going to be as bad long term. However, like we said, the recruitment side of things has to change.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Keep going. Manager likes this player, so let's go and put 50, 80 million down and say, yeah, cool. No, you got to have some backbone and say, brethren, I can't pay 80 million or 90 million for Anthony, but he is 1, 2, 3 players that are going to cost 40, 50, 60 million potentially based on his age and potential. We're happy to pay this, pick a player out of those 3, work with it. And if you can't, new manager, he'll work with it. At least the structure stays the same. At least your system stays the same. At least your identity stays the same. That's just me.
That was always needed, though. That structure behind the scenes was always needed, irrespective of who the coach is. And that's why when you look historically, Man United managers, the new managers always come in and the first thing they do is replace the signings of the old managers. It's been that way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the spooky thing about the Ten Hag situation for me is his talent ID for the players that he's brought in has been catastrophic to the club in financially, because, like I said, no one's talking about the price of Mason Mount if he turns out being a good signing. We could have got Mason Mount for free because he hasn't played, and then Anthony. And then even the Onana thing, like 50 odd million for a goalkeeper that half the fan base or maybe more than that are still not sure about. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones where when you look at all of his signings, apart from Lisandro, like there's a unanimous no.
Unanimous.
Do you know what I'm saying? Unanimous. So because of that, and a manager's talent ID is not just the players that they bring in, it's also the players they identify within the squad and how they use them. We're watching Sabitzer now in the Euros with the number 9 on his back, and the manager told us he was a 6. Do you know what I'm saying? And like, that's what he told us. He told us he was a Casemiro replacement, Sabitzer. He's never been that. But that's what the manager identified him as. His identification, of players' talents, Amrabat left back, like, these things are scary, bro. Like forget all the other things. Ahmad not getting games. Like, even Hannibal was getting minutes ahead of Ahmad. Like, when you see stuff like that, that's the thing the most I don't trust about this manager. I believe that even if we give him all the tools, even Forston as well, and now he's at Monza. But I believe if you give this manager all the tools, he still finds a way to not be able to construct what needs to be constructed, bro.
To fuck it up, innit, Rance? He's gonna fuck it up, all right? He's gonna fuck it up. That's what's gonna happen. That's exactly what. Hey, Rance, don't try to sugarcoat it. Yeah, don't try to sugarcoat this shit. Listen, he bust case because he won the FA Cup, but in the reality, not one of you, man, are hopeful about the next season going forward.
Not
one of you.
I'm definitely hopeful.
And I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to next season. I'm looking forward to seeing how Endrick, Mbappe, and Vinicius Jr. are gonna work. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Are you Hala Madrid now?
I'm Hala Madrid right now, because this experiment is an experiment, but if we're gonna be if I take it from my own personal feelings towards the manager, for you to win a trophy and get sacked is a bit mad, So he deserves a year, If I'm gonna be honest with you, he actually deserves another year. But this contract extension, I don't know what it's gonna entail, But I'm not hopeful for it either. But the fact of, like you said, all these players that you've bought And not only that, people are screaming, get these players out. These are the players that he likes and relies on. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think he's not keeping them? So where do you think it's going to lead to? It's going to lead to the same place, yeah. It led to last season. You might win a trophy along the way. You might get a Carabao Cup again. I don't know. But unfortunately, that might be the future of Manchester United for the next couple years or so, until they decide who is going to play their style of football, what they're going to play, and what are the players they're going to use to play this type of football. Because, like I said, there's so many players from so many different managers and whatnot. But the truth is, he's had 400 million quid to fix it, and it's got worse, in my opinion.
You know what's mad, yeah? Now, by the way, big up to Traps, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute, man. Hope you're well, man.
Traps,
you know what I'm saying? Each and every time, man. But I think for me, yeah, and by the way, I wanted to ask everyone, yeah, like, is everyone hopeful with these signings? Like Ugarte, are you liking the names right now? Like, is everyone liking the names?
Yeah, the names are way better than they've ever been, but that's because we actually have a structure. But I also know that because we've set up so badly in terms of our wage structure and stuff like that, it's very difficult to move these players on. Do you know what I'm saying? Unless we're going to be in the game of cancelling contracts, and I don't think that they've got the bottle to do that. Like, I see Arsenal do it, ripping up contracts. Do you know what I mean? With Ozil and Aubameyang. And I think that Man United really, if they're going to be serious, they either need to take massive losses on players or they need to start ripping up contracts, because like, these men are on crazy money, bro. Like, the fact that we turned down Tosin because he wanted 140k to be a squad player, that's a good sign for me. But now we need to look at the rest of our squad players that are on inflated wages and move them on, even if it means that we take a loss on them and we move them on for a little 10 million or so on. So, like, we're not in a position to be holding out for big money for anyone because our wage bill's a joke. So we're gonna have to take the L, bro. We're gonna have to.
But does that not deep in our situation?
Saeed, 1 second. I interrupted Neji before. Go ahead, Neji.
Yeah, go on.
No, I landed earlier, bro. Appreciate it, though. Yeah, man.
Can I add to what Neji was saying, though? Just on that, I think the elements of structure includes the quality of those people that were putting in those higher places. I think before, because we had poor quality people in terms of Ed Woodward and John Murtagh, they were paying people on inflated prices. Whereas now the better quality of people come in, I think that adds to Ten Hag's armory. We won't be paying people, 80 million for a player on 250, 300k a week, and them kind of prices there. I think.
No, but also we were overpaying because we were overpaying because we were less attractive also. So we were literally saying to players, you know what? Cool, we're not in the Champions League, whatever, but we'll give you 200 grand. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what we were doing. That's the reason why. I
think that speaks to the quality of our negotiators.
100%.
It's not Wilcox, it's not Omar Barada, it's Americans, no offense to them, that don't understand the game to the certain level, and it's similar what Chelsea are doing, giving people death row contracts, 7 years or 10-year contracts. So it's crazy, but now that
America is this thing, man. Trying to NBA up, bro.
It should be helping us. It should be helping us.
Don't work, man. Because the culture's different in football, man. And I think that's one thing Americans don't get. Like, we have a culture that needs to be understood in order for you to be successful. You can't just come and Americanize something over time. Yes, it may work long term, but you've got to understand the culture of football in England, in my opinion, and then understand the culture of your club, because it's more than just, like, let's be honest, none of us care whether Marcus Rashford comes in a Gucci hat and what. No one cares. In America, bro, they're doing fashion shows and everything beforehand. Like, it's all one big commercial game, bro. Like, there was a conversation a while back, it's slightly gone off topic, but just to make the point, there's a conversation that people are having about American sport and the English sport over here and the way we treat our players. And some of the American fans were like supporting what Rashford was doing off the pitch. But a lot of English fans were saying, if my man was performing, no problem. But we put sport first. Whereas they put it together. They're like,
the culture is different completely.
And that culture, or that's one aspect of our sport difference. And with football being so big in England, Americans don't have this, don't get it, man. Most of them just don't get it, or are failing to do some due diligence and some respect on the sport before taking over clubs. The only foreign, I won't say foreign because he's Welsh, and actually no, Ryan Reynolds, American, with the Wrexham team. He's the only one that's actually gone into the city, tried to understand the culture in the club, and tried to merge with the culture of football in England. And for me, I think that's what every manager, every owner should be doing or trying to do at least. But it's never going to happen, man. And I think that's why this Chelsea thing, it's not going to work out, bro. What, 8-year
but I think United's different because I think these guys took over at United because of the commercial appeal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so because of that,
that's what they
because
saw.
of that, these guys have seen Man United and they're thinking about the New York Yankees, bro. They're not thinking about football. They don't care about the sport. They're thinking about how commercial Man United are. So they used us, bro. Ed Woodward's one of his first things were, we can do what other teams can't do, bro. It was that.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? That's what it was. My man was doing up spreadsheets. It was never about the football. It was never about the football. Do you know what I mean? And this is exactly why they're saying right now, one of Ineos's first things is they said that they want to make football the priority again because it hasn't been. And we're seeing that now and we're hemorrhaging money. So because of that now, this is why the structure thing is so important. Football hasn't been a priority and we've just thrown money at things to kind of cover over the fact that the football stuff wasn't working. And now we don't have the money. So this is what it is, bro. Like literally where we are right now is just literally us paying for the sins of the past.
That's it. That's why every season gets worse, man. Then because every manager, every player that comes in, it's a worse situation than what the previous manager had or whatever. And that has to stop at some point. The rot has to stop. And sadly, like I don't know, like to the point where when I started having conversations with myself, going not in a schizophrenic way, but you have certain thoughts and you're thinking. When I got to a stage where I said, if Pep Guardiola came to Man United now, do I think I would see the same level of achievement of what I've seen him at City? And I said no to myself with sadness. I knew that no manager, better or worse, would dominate in the way that I want Man United to dominate. That was just a fact for me. And from the time I had that, that's when I literally put my peg in and said, nah, like I can't do this manager out 24/7.
Depends on when he came. If he came after Fergie, then I think he could have got somewhere.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it didn't. I'm going to sit here and gas like I was structure since Fergie left. Like I was FC Manchester. I'm never going to lie like that. I wasn't. I had to learn, Saeed. I had to understand. Wait, why is this same thing happening over and over again? You know what I mean? I had to be honest with myself.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm missing something. There's something I'm missing right now. It's something bigger than Van Gaal. Something bigger than Ollie and everything else in between. So I just couldn't sit there, bro, honestly, and go, I can't repeat the same thing and then expect different results when clearly there was something bigger. And over the space of a long period of time, don't get me wrong, boys, it took me a while to accept it because emotionally I wanted to point the finger at someone every single time because it was easy for me because it gave me that release of emotion and I've got someone to blame. But the reality was the thing that I actually needed to blame was never going to go away. And that was the owners 24/7. And understanding from what Mr. Structures used to say in the spaces, he opened my eyes to even more of the bullshit that I was kind of having a lead onto. And I thought, this is actually deeper than what's going on. Can we actually change it? Very, very much doubt it. And then it was the case of I just got to accept Man United never going to be big Man United again. Luckily, we got Ineos in, and now they're seemingly doing football things, which, like I said last stream, boys, it's not creme de la creme. It's the basics of what should have been done. So I'm not going to get gassed. I'm not going to get gassed at what they're doing, but I'm just going to have a relief level to go. At least I can have some faith going next 2-3 seasons. If this works and they continue what they're doing, we potentially may have our club back. So
just to add to that as well, Neji, just to double down on what you're saying as well, it's facts because even City had to get Pep and the number 2 above him, someone that had worked in tandem with him.
They got them first before Pep.
Yeah, he even got there before him. So it's like it enforces what we're saying in terms of you needed a structure there in place for it to trickle down, and then just on that, Ed Woodward and Richard Arnold, Murtaugh are not American, but they were working for American people, the Glazers, that were just trying to give, and bankers. They're not footballing people.
Yeah, so Woodward was a banker.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it's like now that there's footballing people here doing it, we're gonna see, years down the line, the progression.
Yeah, 100%. And who knows? Like this is the way we need to look at Ruud van Nistelrooy, and if this other brother comes in and look at Wilcox's, this is only the foundation, of how it is. Van Nistelrooy can be someone else in 2 years. Do you know what I'm saying? This other guy can be someone else. Ten Hag can be someone else. But the structure is now in place, and that structure wasn't there. So that doesn't mean that this is the structure personnel-wise going forward. This could just be, all right, cool, this is a stopgap for now, for the next 18 months, but it's still better than what it has been.
What is right?
Yeah, why do you stop there? Just Ashworth might not be here after 2 years. Wilcox might not be here because at the end of the day,
I think Wilcox stays.
Listen, big
and
clubs,
Ashworth stay.
But big clubs, genuinely, if they failing, Barada, the CEO, if the club is failing, the responsibility lies with him. Right?
Yeah, he might say we need someone else.
Yeah, and then the sporting director and the director of football are the next two people to get it. And football clubs, modern football clubs, change them like that. See you later. You see directors of football that, you know, the sporting directors moving about, technical directors being moved
But
around.
one thing I would say to that, Nuruddin, if they're successful, they're fine in terms of what the goals are. Because look at Dougie Friedman, bro. He's been at Palace forever. He's been at Palace forever. Do you know what I mean? Ashworth's only moved around because he's an ambitious guy and he left the FA. Do you know what I mean? And then he done the Brighton thing, then he's done the Newcastle thing. And now Man United is the pinnacle in English football. So I don't see him leaving, yeah. I don't see him leaving at all. Same with Wilcox. Wilcox was at Manchester City and now he's at Man United. So I don't see him. I see them man being part of the furniture for a while, innit? It's everything else beneath them is interchangeable. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I think. And I don't see that being a problem. I think that's going to make us better in the long term.
Then you know, right? So if them man say, you know what, Ten Hag, like you weren't. Let's be honest, Ten Hag's the only choice from a manager standpoint, anyway, or from a structural standpoint that they didn't initially recruit. Everybody else, seemingly, they're getting their own people in. Yeah. So Ten Hag is the only one who has something to prove more than anything. But if they get the structural things right and it works out, bear in mind the type of people they've brought in, then it's easier to go, you know what? We gave you the opportunity. You're not fulfilling what we wanted out of this situation. Then you can go. I won't be upset at that point because I know they've got an identity that they're sticking to and they will already have done their homework to go and get the right people in. It's no problem based on the manager. But I think that's on the positive side for Ten Hag. If he does smash it and he does stick on his word and he does change his certain behaviours and styles from his first 2 seasons and he does drop that control level in certain aspects of the sport and it works out, then it's win-win for Ineos because they're looking at it going, we got that right, we got that right, we got that right, wicked. So I don't know, man. I think the outgoings are going to be important in order for us to get people in, but at the same time,
how many outgoings is realistic though? How many outgoings is realistic this summer? Do you think, man?
Bro, I can't. You got to be realistic. Number. I can't give you a number based on the simple fact that I don't know how we're moving right now. It's like it's a genuine open playing field.
But Nate, do you know I wanted to add on? I wanted to add on quickly as well. Remember the quote that came out when Ratcliffe was basically saying how there's been loads of quality managers, but the structure's been the problem. So the fact he's identified that after all the checks that they've been doing is quite interesting. So for me, like, I don't know if you guys have spoken about that part of it, but we're genuinely speaking about it anyway. But I just feel like now they need to kind of go down that route and proper fix everything. So I think until right now, obviously we're seeing the Ruud van Nistelrooys and all of that coming in as well. They're just sorting all of that out. And then like Rance said about the July the 1st thing. So that's when we're going to start seeing what's good. I think they're going to solidify the structure first, figure out where they're going with it, and then they can move forward and start. But getting rid of players is very important. It's so important. But I think first and foremost, the structure definitely needs to be set in concrete still, 100%.
If that structure's set and we end up with the same crop of players from last season, same mentalities, I think we'd have more consistent performance, but I don't have an expectation level for them to go and challenge. For the simple fact is, we've seen how difficult it's been in a short space of time for them to do some of the signings, what they've done. Some of the signings they've made at board level takes a lot longer than what we've been able to get them in. So already they're moving quick in their world. If you understand that side of things, they're moving quick at a certain pace, which is unheard of. So I'm not going to sit here and expect big things if we end up with the same squad. But what I would expect is that the play seems to be more harmonized and there's less of the bullshit on the out. How can I put it? Like the childish bullshit within managers, players chatting back. Because there's going to be a hierarchy where you go, you know what? We turn up to work, we do our job, boom, done. And I think that in itself will get rid of at least some of the tension. We're going to see a lot more chemistry within this team and the squad with the players that are there because it does seem like it's a new start for manager and players and the new backroom staff. Seemingly, if everyone's in sync, we could get some surprise results, maybe even have some consistency within the league. Do I expect us to get a trophy, though? I don't know about you lot. Given the fact that this
I think you win Europe League.
I think he needs to be in at least 2 finals. I'm not going to chat shit, bro. Like the best of the best, given the fact that his first season managed to get 2 finals in the trophy, worst start we've ever seen, but again, best start since we've had since for a while. And last season, dire, but not only, 2 seconds, Saeed, not only did he win the FA Cup with City, bro. Yeah. No, yo, there's some feedback somewhere. Mad, don't know who that is. Yeah, not only did he win the FA Cup, but he won it convincingly, bro. Like with a performance that outdid Pep. So I have an expectation to go, okay, if your players are fit, I expect to see that. I expect you to come on with a trophy next season. So for me, I want to see a trophy from Ten Hag next year. I can't lie. Any form of trophy, I'll take it.
Yeah, big up, man.
I'm just gonna get these super chats in quickly. Big up to Killis. By the way, there's 2,000 people here. We're not even on 1,000 likes, man. So you lot, run up the likes, man. It's free to do so, man. And you know what I mean? Shows your support. Killis says, big up the panel. Ineos on Fraud Watch. What they're doing on the women's team is criminal. Yeah, man. Lost the captain today, so it's peak. It's peak. Nedu, my guy, says, Wallahi, I'm Ineos out already. Ruud van Nistelrooy and Go Ahead Eagles, you know. We are to be hot garbage next season. This reeks of Eric Ten Hag nonsense. Big up my guy, Nedu, man. Zoatek says, Austria has had a better manager than us. Madness. Yeah, Ralph Ragnick, shout out to him. You know what I'm saying to you. Big up my guy, Tariq, man. Hope you're well, man. He says, big up the Mandem LFC fan here, but this is one of the best YouTube talk shows out there. Big up Mr. Structure and big respect. Yeah, man. Big up to you, Tariq, man. Love for that, man. Mike says, no one even knows Pep coaches. Don't know why we're making such a fuss about this. Just bring me some new players. And Craig says, I just don't understand why bringing in all these coaches to play a new style of play, paying 2 more salaries, surely cheaper to bring in a new manager. That's a fair point, you know, to be fair. Mike says, how are we blaming Ten Hag? How much we bought for these players for? Isn't that what the deal director is for? It was meant for? Big up everyone in here. Free Palestine. Big up to you, man. Jamaican United. Big up Leon, man. Hope you're well, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, bro, what going for the women's team anyway, bro? Like, I don't know what's going on. I ain't seen it,
it's madness.
I don't know, man. I'm blaming Ineos, but let's be real, yeah. Like, bro, them man weren't really they didn't give a damn about the women's team before Ineos, bro. Bro, Man United are one of the last teams to have a women's team, yeah, and it's almost like they started a women's team just to tick a box. So I don't think you can blame Ineos for that, because when I saw what's her name? That Russo gal, yeah, leave Man United and go Arsenal. Then I was like, hold on. Like, obviously she's from London and that, but when I saw that, I'm thinking this girl plays for England, yeah, and she's left Man United. Like, we shouldn't have allowed that to happen. Man United don't sell to Arsenal, innit? So when I seen that, I already knew there was something booky going on, and that was pre-Ineos, bro. So I don't know if it's Ineos, bro.
Partly I agree, but when Jim the Rat signed up, he said, yeah, he's here for the women's team. He went on that PR spiel bullshit. Majority of times, just to say, because I've been there and I know the timeline, Manchester United was shamed into. Out of the big clubs, they were shamed into having a women's team. They didn't want to do it. People tried to lobby them from years and years ago, and they didn't want to do it. I actually know some amateurs. United amateurs, because it was an amateur club before. Right. So they were shamed into it. We seen what they did over lockdown to Casey Stoney, if I'm not mistaken.
Was that the manager that left or something?
Yeah, the manager. She's the only person. She's the only person who could ever walk out of here with their head up high. She was not asked about money and stuff like that. She said, when people show you who they are, believe them. She believed the Glazers and the bankers and the way they treated her and their players. And they left. And after that, there was a spate of all of the big players. People forget, Reece James' sister was at Manchester United.
Yeah.
Before she went back to Chelsea.
Yeah.
We had Russo. And Russo was supposed to be touted the first £1 million woman footballer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When she left, that's when I knew something was going.
Mary Epps left. Mary Epps just left. She's one of the best goalkeepers. She got voted the best goalkeeper.
She leaving?
Yeah, she's leaving. She's going to Paris Saint-Germain, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah, they pay dough in France.
Our captain Zalem's gone as well. Zalem's gone as well. Our captain.
Salem. So
captain.
she's the captain, and she's gone. And then we had the Spanish. We had the Spanish player leave last season. She's one of the best Spanish players. She went to Barcelona. So they have been, and then they've kicked them out now of the train of the, because remember the PR. Oh, the women's have got a new, because they had to cover it up. Casey Stoney came out and said that they were changing out of, like, you know, those motorhomes. Like, that's where they were changing out of, like, during their home games, right? And it was disturbing, innit? For a club the size of Manchester United, like, to treat their footballers like that was disgrace. So they put the PR together and they said, look, we've got this new building for them at Carrington, for the women's. They're kicking them out now. So, and you know what their statement is? To focus on the first team. So what about the first? And by the way, they're successful. They've been to 2 finals. They won 1 final. And they actually, that's the last season, challenged for a fucking league title. We talk about people challenging for league titles. And then under 23s won a trophy as well. So when I look at in the recent years who's been the most successful out of the women's or the men's, it's been the women's. They've actually been in a title race.
I'm gonna go against the grain slightly. Hopefully it doesn't get taken out of context. Sometimes it does on this show, and it is what it is. Yeah. But from a business perspective, Man United's men's team are the only ones that bring in the most commercial asset. Now, I'm not saying I agree with this, by the way. I'm not talking this from a sense of this is what I agree with. This is me looking at it from them as business people. I'm thinking that given the bullshit in Man United, they're trying to sort out the head first. And then the women's. Now, that does not excuse the behavior of how they're moving. It doesn't. But I'm just saying them prioritizing the men's team is not a shock to me, business-wise, because of the bullshit that's needed and the financial aspect that men's team bring in comparison, even if Man United's women's team are somewhat more successful. I get that, but again, it's a case
without the men's team generating the money, there's no women's team anyway. So 100%.
Given what's needed, Rance, given what's all needed, what we've all spoke about, which is going to take a length of time, can he really focus on the women's team as much as the men's team? No. But does that mean you have to boot them out and put them in some shitty, flipping, what's that guy from GTA? Trevor Caravan.
Yeah, little porter van.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Does that mean you have to do that? No, not at all. Do their women deserve that? No. And have they done enough to at least be considered to have similar or at least let's say you're going to boot them out of their camp, can you not put another 10-20 mil, even though they don't earn that much, can you put another 10-20 mil into giving them a different facility to maintain what they've been having at least whilst you're going through it? Like, they deserve that, in my opinion.
But Najee, but why the short-term thinking? We already know in the last 5 years, the women's game has gone from here to there, and it's got the most highest ceiling ever in terms of in Europe, the game. We saw that Champions League final. 100,000 people packed out the new camp. Yeah. You know what are we talking about, guys? Like, with the Wembley.
But that could be down to the business again. That could be down to poor forward planning from the club and not expecting the game to make the progress that is made in such a short amount of time. And the budget's not there.
It's the fastest growing sport, the women's football in Europe.
Yeah,
I hear that, but how do you budget? How do you budget for that if you don't know? Like you can't budget for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't budget for more than a certain amount per season. And the demand the demand far outweighs the supply at the moment.
For every man there is a woman in it, like in Greater Manchester. So even look at the local. Forget about other people who support. Do you not think that they got partners or they got daughters that want to get behind? They just want to support the women's and they'll affiliate themselves with the women's. So the idea that Manchester United as a football club, by not actually looking at strategic, long-term vision for the women, they're going to miss out on future young Manchester United women and girls fans. Like,
but I think it's short-term pain for long-term gain in their eyes, given the fact that, let's be honest, Manchester United as a brand is massive, biggest in the world. Let's put it there, next to Real Madrid, or if not second. In order to fix that type of project, they can't, in their world, by the looks of it, focus so much on the females' game and try to keep up with what's going on right now. Doesn't mean ever, but right now. So I'm saying that Go on.
I'm not saying they should. The point what I'm making is that I think maybe some of you are trying to see it from their point of view, but I'm saying to you, why neglect something that's gonna bring you more revenue in the fucking future?
But it's only if they've got the capacity to, though. Just what I'm trying to. They haven't got the capacity to do both at the moment, both projects. That's what I'm trying to say.
So why did they lie to the people then? Why did they lie to the
people?
Bro,
listen, that's not a conversation for me. They lie.
Yeah, I think what Lord is getting to.
But I'm just saying, again, objectively speaking, I don't agree with it.
I agree.
I'm agreeing with. I'm just seeing another perspective and an angle to say I can understand it. Understanding doesn't mean acceptance, by the way. I'm just seeing that them lot.
I don't get that perspective because they're gonna get money, and this is the bit I don't understand.
The level of Man United.
But not a lot of money though, Nuruddin. Though
not enough.
Not enough to. But it's the fastest growing sport in Europe.
Yeah, but Nuruddin, even if it is,
that, bro.
But even if it is the fastest growing sport, in the grand scheme of money, the team probably makes a loss every year, bruv, in terms of how much it costs to have the team, how much they have to pay them. It probably makes a loss. So as much as it is the fastest growing,
it doesn't. To be fair, it
bro,
doesn't.
Bro, and if it doesn't make
the men's game, it's
hey,
not.
bro, no. I'm not talking about compared to the men's game, bro. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying the amount of money it generates compared to how much it costs to run it. Yeah, you're saying compared to the men's game. Yeah. It's all about how much money comes in from shirt sales, from people going to watch the games, all of that compared to how much we need to, that costs for the groundsman, for the kits, all of these things, all these overheads, bro. Like, bro, it costs money, innit, bro? It's the same thing.
Whose fault is that, Run? So whose fault is that then?
Yep, bro,
they play at Old Trafford. You know when I go to the games at Old Trafford?
Yeah, but you're missing.
I actually go to the games.
Yeah, but you're talking like a fan. You're not talking like a businessman.
40,000 turn up. Instead, they have to go and play in Lim.
But bro, you're not talking like a businessman.
Stadium, so they would make more money. The point of what you know, like they would make more money if the games were at Old Trafford, but they don't want to do that.
No, but you say that they would make more money if the game was at Old Trafford. No. Nuruddin. Let me tell you why that's not necessarily a fact. Is because it still costs money to put on an event at Old Trafford, and they have to work out, running costs, and then they have to subtract that for the cost it takes to have the pitchmen, the pitch people, to pay staff for the day, to do all of these things, bruv. And on top of that, how much can we sell the tickets for? Because we can't sell them for the price we sell the men's tickets for, because no one will go.
20 quid.
Bro, but the point is, it's all about how much is it going to cost to run, and how much are we going to make on the day, bro? Because we need to hire people to serve food. We need to make sure there's police in the area and security in the area. We have to make sure we got the grounds.
We have outgoings,
Bro, there's bare outgoings, bro.
Can I just say as well?
Can I just say as well? The outgoings, they're not, bro. Like we need to stop pretending.
Let me just say this:
growing sport, but it's nowhere near revenue-wise what the men's game is, bro. It's nowhere near it, bro. And it
let
never
me just say this as well. The league have this specific number of games that each club must play in their home ground.
Yeah, Old Trafford.
The men's team. That's the academy and the women's. So a specific number of games can get played. You have to consider the damage to the pitch as well when academy or women's team play, because damage to the pitch can lead to issues. Obviously, it has to be a certain standard for the men's game. And as sad as it sounds, yes, they will prioritize the men's game because that's what's bringing in the revenue. Yeah. Because a ticket is sold for 20 quid on a Sunday for a women's game does not mean that those 40,000 people are willing to pay 20 quid every Sunday for a women's game. The reason why they do women's game every other month or every so often is because people are willing to pay that money for that one-off occasion. A lot of people are not willing to pay 20 quid a goal for women's football. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's just the truth. They'll come on an odd game with the kids and everything and a family. So, you know what? Let's go to the women's game. Let's go to the academy game, whatever. But bro, on a week-to-week basis, they won't. The second thing, they specifically price the women's season ticket considering it's being played in Lee Sports Village, not in Old Trafford. If women's sports game was being played in Old Trafford, the
price of the ticket goes up
season ticket
exponentially.
would have been rocketing way more higher, because that's so the way they do it is they attract you by saying the season ticket is going to be low, but majority of the game is going to be in Leigh Sports Village. Some of the games, as per the league law, will be played in Old Trafford, and you know, whatever. So it's
Okay,
still a growing process.
can I just come in? Let me just make this point. The point what I'm trying to say to you is that it's short-sightedness on the fucking football club, right? Still owned by fucking Glazers, where everything is about the bottom things. And I said every decision that's ever been made when it comes to being, and I repeat again because I don't think some of you are understanding, the appetite for people, families to go and watch, right? I got people who I sit with in the stadium and go, actually, I enjoyed going to the women's game because it's not much of a hassle. It's more of like a carnival atmosphere, yeah? You don't understand. Man City have got their stadium for the women's team. It's called the Academy. It's about 20 or 15,000, if I'm mistaken, right? Across the road from the Etihad. It's right across the road, right?
Right there.
I went to watch. Yeah, I went to watch the women's Euros, right? Last summer. But the point what I'm trying to make to you is that the appetite and the viewership and the people that want to have that match day experience, the appetite is there. So when you say that, oh, they only pay no, the appetite is there for the women's game. I repeat, do
you think the appetite's there for 50 quid a game?
I don't think it'll be.
And would the appetite still be there? Would the appetite still be there if we lose a never baller in Nikita Paris or something? We've just lost a Russo. We've just lost I'm
really sorry, Marcel, but I understand where Nurdin's coming from. I totally get it that Man City have a system in place where you can consume Manchester City football as an organization in a 3-mile radius, which is actually ideal and very good. You go to Barcelona, whatever. Have these things, which is great, right? Which is great. But listen, the thing is, I can't listen to someone say Man City because they've got 115 reasons why they shouldn't be in the freaking position.
And also they got better structure at the minute.
They got better structure back. So the fact that Man City are in this position is a weird thing as it is, because they're not supposed to be. They cheated. They scammed. They frauded. So
I think the thing what I'm picking up from Faz as well, yeah.
And on top of that, Manchester United are in ludicrous amount of debt. We're in ludicrous amount of debt. I would love for Man United to be, functioning in a way where we can regularly have women's game, academy game, blah blah blah. But the truth is we can't, because the money coming in isn't even enough to get the club out of the freaking debt.
Can I also stress here? Ineos have only just come in. I get it. We're all frustrated.
I'm not blaming them, and I've highlighted that we can't blame them. And also, at the end of the day, as much as there's appetite for loads of different things, listen, if you give the dad enough money, the whole family lives well, innit? And at the end of the day, the daddy is the men's team, bro, because that's what funds everything. So, do you know what I mean? As much as they could be doing more for other things, they have to make sure that the breadwinner is the priority. It has to be the priority, because if the breadwinner is not a priority, then we can all have 100% of nothing.
I think that's the thing, though, bro. Sorry, go on, carry on. Sorry.
And that's what it is. So I understand, that they could be doing more for that, but in business, there's no room for emotion in business. You have to be ruthless.
There you go. I was just about to say that.
What I'm saying? You have to be ruthless, and you have to look at it that, listen, if this thing doesn't start making more money,
will make them more fucking money in the fucking future.
In the future, but this thing about the future.
If you put the steps in, or if you put the steps in now, if you put some of the investment now, you're going to eat later on. And that's what you don't understand. And yes, I am fucking blaming Ineos. I'm blaming Ineos because the pricks, I heard the fucking first press conference. We're here to fix. We're in charge of the football, the full football operation at Manchester United. Whether it's the youth, whether it's the women's, whether it's the fucking men's. That's what they said. So yes, they're getting the fucking blame. Yes, they are.
No, that's fine.
Who gave Skinner a fucking new contract? Who gave Skinner a new contract?
No, let me reply to you.
Who gave Skinner a new contract?
I think the avenue of what I think that. I think the avenue of which they've taken to fix it, I think might have been a way that obviously you don't agree with. But if they're starting with, you know, allocating the money in this section first and trying to see the uplifting of the men's team first, and then they're going to slowly increase the women's section, then hopefully they
money structure. Money
yeah,
is
yeah,
money.
yeah, it's yeah, exactly. So I think the avenue that you're seeing it, which is maybe keep the investment level that they're at now currently for the women's team and slowly see it progress because there's still appetite for it. That might hinder other areas of the football club. But if they're trying to downsize, I think that's what they're going to do. Because if imagine losing an Nikita Paris as well, that would give me a headache, Nuruddin. I love the quality of women players that we had, you know, but we've lost Russo, we've lost good ballers. But if they're going to downsize that, maybe utilize the women's, the 23s, like you said, and maybe get, you know, on lower wages, on lower contracts, and then, you know, watch the men's team, you know, put those little percentages of money that they maybe ascertain from that into the men's team as well. Maybe hopefully develop and renovate the men's team, and then that trickles down to the women's team, and then we can properly fund the women's team, maybe with a better coaching staff. Skinner has kind of been part of that success period that you're talking about regarding the women's team right now as well, Nuruddin. So if he can do it on a lesser budget, then that might hopefully give them time to then really, you know, invest in the women's team. But I'm going to be annoyed if we lose, and Paris as well. That's going to be a headache.
Big name, innit?
But it's an emotional argument, innit? And the thing is, like, I understand that football's emotional. Do you know what I'm saying? But we can't be emotional about this, because at the end of the day, just like the way Man United's been put together right now has been put together with very little plan by the Glazers. The women's team was formed with very little plan,
Yeah, you can tell.
Very few things in place, to deal with how it's grown exponentially in such a short amount of time. So if it means that Ineos need to come through and say, you know what, the way you man set up, it wasn't time-proofed, and now we need to go backwards to go forwards, you have to understand that, bruv. Because at the end of the day, what would you want the women's team to have 100% of a small pie, or 10% of a pie this big? You'd rather have the bigger pie, and the big pie is the men's team. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the men's team facilitates the women's team. Without the men's team doing well, the women's team have no money. The academy has no money. Do you know what I'm saying? The men's team has to be the one to power everything. So because of that, their main focus is going to be on the men's team, and the men's team are also cutting back because we're cutting wages. We're losing players. We're losing our better players. So if the men's team are suffering, then of course the women's team are going to suffer by default. Like, that's how it works. Because it's not like the men's team, they're keeping a wage bill, they're still signing Galacticos, but then they're cutting the women's team. Everyone's suffering, bro.
Yeah, everyone's taking.
I hear that. Just wanted to say as well, we got Carl Williams. We need to do that side. We got the tune and everything ready. We need to do that. Did you see that? Come on. If no one's heard the tune, let me know. I'll put it in there. I'll put it in the group chat. We got a Mandem talk tune in it. But it's interesting. Do you know what, Nuruddin? I feel your frustration, because I can relate this to boxing. Like, when you have boxing, you have big cards and they get like massive pay-per-views, and that's what generates money for a promotion. But then you also have like what we call next gen cards, where you have like, you pick somebody from a city or an area and you have like 2,000 people in the arena rather than 50, 100,000. And then the guys go through to become stars from there. So it is frustrating, but everyone's right in the aspect of poor planning, because the women's team, the youth team should all be part of a plan. We're a big enough brand, so it should all trickle down to where they all get exposure. They're all on. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're seeing like smaller brands now doing deals with things like DAZN. So they're like small brand, but they're putting themselves on big platforms to watch it and stuff like that. But it is, I feel where you're coming from, Nuruddin, because it is frustrating. We shouldn't have the women travel all the way to the middle of the Peak District to a stadium that's not ours to play football, really. Do you know what I mean? We should be having like the best players there. So I hear it, man.
I think it's not what, no, you know, sometimes when they say it's not what you do, it's how you do it. I think it's the way and the manner in which Man United have done it. You know what I mean? It's you know,
everything's how you done it. Everything, the way we sign players, everything's just poor in it.
Yeah, everything's poor. And that's why I'm saying, for me, like, Ineos, don't say things you're not going to do. So don't, like, what I get where Nori is coming from. Don't make expectations you can't meet. You know, keep it realistic, keep it fair, and then people can get along with it. I think that's what the main issue is. The Glazers, they never cared, really. Let's be honest, man. Now Ineos have to have the communication with the women fans, with the fans in general, and say, right, we're doing this. This is our plan. It might not happen now, but we have a plan, and it's going to get there.
On, bro.
They haven't really told us anything either, though, to be honest. It's one of them ones where, bro, I'll be real. It's one of them things where I think now, because of social media, and I think people just have a natural entitlement to be communicated with, and they want to know what's going on. But the reality is, yeah, they just see us as supporters of the football club. Like they don't owe us
consumers, yeah.
They don't owe us explanations as to what's going on, bro. They've got a job to do, innit? Like, so as much as it would be nice for Jim to sit down every 6 months and say, guys, this is what we've actioned and this is what we're going to action in the next 6 months, it's probably not going to happen, innit? It's probably not going to happen. However, all we can do is look at the moves that are being made,
the actions,
and assess them, on what they're doing. And that's all we can do, bro. Like all the other stuff, it's like, as much as we would love it, it's not, we don't own the club in it. We don't have the entitlement to these things. We don't.
Bro, he's actually spoken more times than we've actually done any action in the last 6 months.
Yeah, but he's spoken. But if you look at how he's spoken, but look at how he's spoken. He's been very strategic, His thing is, he wants to get this subsidizing for this new stadium. So every time he's had these media appearances, he's kind of pushing that angle out there. He knows what he's doing, bro. The PR spins he's doing about the Wembley of the North and how much jobs it's going to generate and all that. This is his little PR spiel, to get the money for what he needs to do, bro. Like, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's very strategic, and he only sits down with certain outlets. He'll sit down with the BBC or with Bloomberg or whatever. He knows what he's doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to get a play-by-play with everything. Do you know what I mean?
When we don't know rants. I prefer when we don't hear everything. I don't want to hear, because it's annoying every week to hear this, that. I'd rather just do the actions. Do you know what I mean? So,
we're not going to get play-by-play, and I'm completely okay with that. But
because the thing
in
is,
my head, I was kind of like, you know what? If Man United, for instance, tore up some contracts, if these owners said to us, listen, we've got loads of players and inflated wages, we need to reset the wage bill. We're only going to bring in a couple, man. We're going to cancel contracts, so we can't afford to buy no more players. And if they were going to rip up the manager's contract or whatever and pay for another manager, and we said we're going to spend our transfer budget on bringing in a new team and paying for Dan Ashworth, I'd be like, you know what? I'll bite the bullet for a season and see what happens, because I would rather the structure gets sorted out and we don't just bring in players for bringing in players' sakes, bro. Like, I don't mind having another bad season, because last season was a bad season for me. Exactly. I don't mind having another season like this if it means that everything's in place to go the season after. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind the pain. Do you know what I mean? But like, you can't have it. You can't have it every single way. We can't get the players we want, the manager we want, the women get what they want, and everything, because it's financially, it's not viable. Like, it cannot.
It's not the way the world works either. Like, from a fan's perspective, we want these things, but can we get these things even realistically? Half the answer is going to be no anyway. So, do you know what I mean? It's a. I think as a fan base, and I think I had this conversation. I think it was in a space that, you know, you maybe remember me saying it. I don't know. But I said, I actually yearn for the day where we can just be friends and talk about our best football players, who we rate, who we don't, and just have the surface level conversations. As fans, I don't believe we should ever have to be in a situation where we're talking directors of football X, Y, and Z. I don't believe we should. And the fact that we're in this situation for the past 6-7 years doing it, it's an abysmal position as a football fan. Do you know what I mean? We should be able to sit here and rants go, you know what? I don't rate Garnacho. Safe is what it is, but those are the only conversations we're having. Instead, we're having to actually have conversations about Dean Ashworth and next man.
Bro, City fans ain't talking about who's bringing in their players. Like, bro, City fans ain't talking about that. Who's bringing in their players? At one point, Liverpool fans weren't talking about that. They just saw players coming in and they were just winning trophies. Like, they weren't talking about recruitment and all these things, bro. Whoever they got in, they were like, all right, cool, let's see what Endo does. It wasn't like, oh, like, who's bringing them in, this, that, and the other, bro. We're the only club that talks about these things because it's a mess.
The reality is, the more that we get focused on the little things, the Glazers just behind the scenes just rinses, isn't it? That's really what's happening.
No, that's what's been happening, bro.
100%. Let me get these last super chats in before we kind of wrap things up. Josh says there's minimal
return on investment.
Into women's team. The WNBA still operating on a 30-year loss. Men's first team more valuable assets for Ineos.
It's the same conversations they're having in the WNBA, and you've seen a massive push here in terms of eyes on the WNBA. Like, they're merging the Instagram posts. You're seeing a lot of people going to the games, and guess what? The majority of people going to the games are men. And they're bringing their daughters. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's still the men subsidizing the sport. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones. It's a similar conversation, and the better the NBA does, the better the WNBA will do. And it's the same with the men's team. The better the men's team do, the better the women's team should do.
Yeah. I agree with Killis. The club won't invest into the women's team, and when the WSL becomes big, they'll wonder why they're missing out. Chelsea fan loving watching the show, Rants. I was blocked from your chat because I was talking to the co-section, but big up every time. I'm a truck driver. Y'all keep my company whilst I drive state to state. Love, big up to you, man. And big up Nedu. Pick up the women. Women's
this
team.
guy's wild, you know.
Yeah, Nedu's wild, man. Listen, guys, don't listen to Nedu, man.
He's just a wind-up merchant, man.
You've got restaurants to run in Toronto. Just, you know what I mean? You got other things to do.
Yeah, man. I don't know what. Bro, your restaurant must be moving wild, man. He's just like, yo, sack everyone. You know what I mean? But now, big up, man. Now, listen, man. If you don't sugarcoat, that's fair enough, innit? You feel me? But we're here to, you know what it is about this channel as well. Even Rance's channel, everyone's channel. We're here to talk about conversations that, you know what I mean, not many other channels do, man. Like, not everyone talks about these conversations, man. We're here to discuss it, man. As grown men, we're here to discuss this conversation. I know there's going to be idiots in the comments and that, and they're going to be chatting shit, yeah, but we're here discussing it, innit? You feel me? So, yeah, we're not agreeing on everything. We don't disagree, but we keep it respectful, innit? That's all we can do. Keep it respectful.
Next, they're going to say...
It's not that deep, man. It's just a football opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going to say, yeah. Hey, they're going to be like, next, you lot should do Galdem talk. Do Galdem talk.
Yo, people, Rants and Bants. He's already doing the reacts, man. He's giving the game out. Go Rants and Bants, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Maybe there has to be a Galdem talk. Maybe I need to sort that one out. You know what I'm saying? So... We'll see, man. But big up the Mandem. Guys, we need 1,000 likes, man. I don't know how many likes we're on right now, yeah, but it's been a lit show, man. We've got 2,000 people still here on the show. We are currently on 934. You know what I'm saying? So please get that up to 1,000 likes. Big up Leon. I know you came late, but let them know what you got coming up. Any events, any boxing events, you know what I mean? Let them know, man.
Yeah, we got show next month in London, but the big one I'll get you lot to is the September show, innit? So we're just getting some momentum, man. I had people like Ade from The Zone going to come down, and there's quite a few people coming, to be fair. So, but yeah, man. To me, I'm just excited about this Joshua fight, man. He's going to spark out the war. I'm seeing.
The card is looking.
Bro, the card's crazy. I'm seeing
Josh Kelly's back as well, man.
I'm seeing Josh Boatzy and Willie Hutchinson going at it. I'm loving it. It's getting it. Do you know what I'm saying? These men are going at it behind the scenes. But yeah, man, listen, make sure you subscribe to Rant, Saeed. We're not far off 100K now. I'm sure by the time summer's out, you man will be done. And I'm looking forward to obviously like the free meal and the champagne and party you man putting as well.
Yeah, man, don't worry, man. Everything's on me, man. Don't worry, man.
Saeed, you're gonna regret to say that, bro.
Nah, listen, man. Listen, you man helped me in the way in it. So you man.
What 20 stories, yeah? Cool, calm, safe.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm saying we're here.
Just don't bring out the rose petals, bro, because I ain't reaching, bro.
Aye, big up, man. Big up last super chat here. All these problems because Glazers took a debt-free club, loaded it with debt, loaded their pockets yearly from United whilst leaving the club to die in debt. Yeah, there you go. Facts, 100%. Nordy, what you got coming up, man? What are you saying, man? Anything coming up for your channel?
Yeah, big up, people. We're gonna be doing England, Slovakia preview tomorrow. We're going to be doing that tomorrow night.
Yep. Apparently, Mainu's starting tomorrow. Mainu's starting, apparently.
I'm just doing a bit of...
One England, man. Let them... Leave my boy Maino on the team, bro.
He wants to pay Maino now. Surprise.
Yeah, I know.
Bro, I didn't want it to happen, I'll be honest, because, bro, knowing our luck, they'll start Kobe, then they'll lose, and then it's going to be a man.
You already know.
Yeah, you know what time. You know what time it is.
Saeed, remember what I said to you a week ago?
Yeah.
That I was telling you to make England more balanced, play Saka left back. Every other dickhead on TV now saying the same thing.
Oh,
a lot of man said it. Rand, Steve.
2 weeks ago, I told you that. 2 weeks ago.
A lot of man said that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Bud England, man. Bud England. I can't be asking them, man. You get me? So,
hey, you're going to watch
You're playing with Trippy on the left-hand side, like playing with...
You know what? I might be at...
To be fair, you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. The tournament, as soon as they put this third...
I know, I said it. We said it. I know.
All of it. It's just gone absolute pile of shite.
I know.
Yeah. It's not just England, to be fair. The tournament has been poor. Spain, Germany.
First it was all right. The
first
10 games were all right.
Austria. The teams that I watched and I like watching was Turkey, Austria, Spain, Germany. Georgia. They were the teams that I'm like, okay, you know, they're actually playing football. Rest of them being shit.
Yeah.
All of them are being shit. Holland, France. Italy, all of them.
Even
have
the
been
Copa America
horrendous.
has not been hitting the same. I've been watching the Copa America. Yo, Brazil, man, them. Brazil are not Brazil anymore, man.
Yeah, but Saeed, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these international tournaments do is confirm what man have been saying for ages. Football ain't what it was.
Yeah, no.
The players ain't at the level. There's not the individuals aren't there anymore. They're not there anymore. Now you're seeing it. Like, collectively, there's a shortage in talent across the board. It's not one country.
And I'll be honest, boys, like, and I've been saying it for the longest. It seems to be happening now. Where I've been saying about the robotic game. Don't get me wrong, football looks better on the eye, but the individuals are nowhere near as good.
Not the same.
I'll give you a light analogy, that you can wrap your head around. You remember the Nike advert where they had 20 to 25 man when you used to kick the ball in the tunnel and all that, yeah? You tell me, give me 15 players, well half it. Give me 15 players that could make the advert right now.
You're
not doing it, and that's the magicians.
Of course, listen, these academies have coached out the magic out of these young players. Yeah. That's the facts. Yeah. And now because of these, a young player somewhere in Africa or Latin America or wherever is being clipped up. Oh, he's got an agent. Next minute he's moving. Family are moving. Next minute he's in the academy. While all the street footballers are being got rid of.
100%. The initiative in the game is gone, bro. The initiative in how to even
the
like
thing as well is with the teams you're watching players like I'm watching people like sometimes Foden and Musiala and people aren't reading their wavelength. They're the little gems in the team. No one's reading what they're actually doing. I'm watching Foden play for the last 3 games. No one's reading. No one's on the same wavelength or even IQ as him, man. It's crazy.
It's crazy, bro. And listen, I know we're gonna wrap up, but that opens up the debate again for the Kevin De Bruyne thing. I want answers, people, man.
Another day.
I want answers, bro.
Allow that stinky argument, man.
Bro, listen. When you reply to it, then we can call it stinky. But until then, don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Next, you know what? You probably think Bellingham's better than all of them as well. He's been awful, man. He's been so bad.
Listen, I don't do probablys and maybes. I do absolutes. And I said to you, the question is, I'll put it to the chat in it for next time. Why does the talent of KDB, why does it disappear the moment he's out of his system and hasn't got profiles?
Wait, Nadine, I say he got man of the match twice, though. He's got man of the match twice.
Yeah, but he gets man of the match when he plays shit all the time, though.
He's not been great.
I don't even watch it, by the way. I don't watch it, but
my receipts are fair. I did say over the big span of time he's been playing for Belgium, not just this one time, in his prime at City.
He's been awful.
Why does the same talent not show up when he's outside of the system or Pep? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you said
answer that, please. I don't want to hear age. I don't want to hear Bruno. I don't want to hear other names.
No, I'll give it to you. Bruno runs.
No. Pause. You're not giving nothing. Hold on. Hey, yo, big man. Hold on.
This guy.
Now give me nothing bread. Now give me nothing bread, drink. Yo, lock up him.
Let me wrap this up, man. Yo.
Lock him up.
I'm not here for this show. Listen, that's how woke up now. That's how woke up now, man. Do you know what I mean? Allow this, man.
Man, not give me nothing.
Let me
he's got the Bruno
bro.
Yeah, man. Big up to Rance as always, man. Make sure you follow him. Let them know what you got coming up, man. Rance.
Rance Reacts 9:30.
Come on. PK in it, yeah.
Oh, PK.
Yeah,
make sure you check that one out. You know what I'm saying? To each and every time, support the Mandem. Neji, what you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Nothing, man. Plug everyone else's thing in it, man. Not me. I'm just in my own lane. You know me, bro. Got a couple of shows coming up. We got a food thing. Another food adventure with me and my pops tomorrow. I think it's another athletic stadium. We sold out the other day, boys. I mean, 3 hours out there catering. Boom, food went out. So me and pops are smashing it, man. And yeah, man, got some new work to do. Did a talk show at Stoke City Football Club the other day for some young people and some coaches. That was sick. So yeah, man, everything's moving well, man. God's good, man. But yeah, man, when the bigger stuff's there, I can plug that, bro. But for now, it's just small little wins, man.
Nah, I love that, man. Each of the time, man. Small wins are still big wins, man. You know what I mean?
You don't know already.
Come on, man. Marcel, man, let them know your new channel coming out soon, man. You know what I mean? Tell
soon, man. Soon. But Marcel 1110 on Twitter, man. Same as usual. But that channel's coming out soon, man. I need to be talking about that Ten Hagness next season because you lot just trying to all this negativity. So I got to protect. I got to shine on all of you, man. Yeah, throughout the season.
That's what the channel's called.
That evil energy. See, look, there you go. It's starting already. I'm using my terminology. They can't handle it. They gotta just this.
Nah, fair play, man.
Next season, I'll be there, man.
We'll be tuned in, man. Anyone wants to hear the 10 Hag prop, you check out Marseille TV.
Yo, Nate, you need to let me know when your dad and I are doing food in Manchester, innit? I need to come and
bro, we're trying to get some contracts for some of the athletics meetings, man, because we're the last one we had the feedback they were saying and basically every time in the athletics world when you go to these comps, like let's say you go British champs or whatever, when you're there, bro, you're competing with all these athletes and it's just burger stands, bro, and it's like charging football prices. So we did it as an experiment and said, you know what, let's actually put home cooked food out there and see what the response is. And it's been sick, man. So once we've done a few athletics events, we're going to take that body of work and then provide that to hopefully UKA and some other areas. And then hopefully we can start getting out there. But the main goal, bro, is for me, my big pops is to get a van, bro. Start driving around and doing the thing, man, because you don't get much time with your pops, man. Do you know what I mean? And I know dads are very rare to come by these days. So I definitely 100%. Respect mine. Do you know what I mean?
Respect. Come on, man.
Don't know.
Big up your dad, man.
Big up, man. And Rhino, man, you get me? Big track on the way, man. Let them know. M Lizzy, come on.
M Lizzy, shout out M Lizzy, man. Oh, yeah, I was heavy by the way. If M Lizzy's watching, that was sick. I can't like props.
Yeah, do you know it's so good that you spoke about the small wins, man? Because obviously I've been in this game for many years. I've had many accomplishments. If you know, you know. Sometimes I see it in the chat as well. So big up. So I'm always loving all the Mandem doing their thing as well, and just all of us thriving to get into a better place. So. People don't realize how hard it is to build an artist from the ground up. You know, it's not easy. It's not easy to get 100,000 streams. It's not easy to get notoriety. It's not easy to go viral on TikTok and stuff like that. So I'm grateful as well. Keeping it moving. We got a pop-up event Saturday, 12:30, Streatham, Morley's. We're gonna give out some free food. The free food tickets sold out in 20 minutes. So we had loads of anticipation. So yeah, just grateful. Big up my team as well, FNR and everyone as well. So yeah, man, check out M Lizzy. The single's out already, gang. There's gonna be a lot of TikTokers, special guests there as well. So it's gonna be big, man. So appreciate all the Mandem, Saeed, Rants, Marcel,
come on,
Naji, Structure, Nuruddin, Leon. Yeah, man, big up Traps as well. Big up Musa as well.
Iron,
big up the chat as well. You lot smash the likes as well. And yeah, it's always love, man. So yeah, you lot just remember the name, man. M Lizzy. Just remember the name.
M Lizzy.
Yo, Rhino, we're not letting you get away with it. Yeah, when these Sunday shows coming back, you can't be dropping napkin talk on here and not doing your Sunday show, man.
Soon. I'll try. I'm trying to work out. What's the word I want to use? I'm trying to kind
stuttering, you know, get the word.
I'm trying to fix my time management. You know what I mean? No, it is. I'm trying to fix the time management, allocate the things I need to do, fix my foundation of stuff, you know, like Man United are doing. Then once I've got things in place, then I can start allocating more time to the Sunday show still. So,
there you go. Listen, make sure you copy it. Links in the description. Check out the tune, man. Run up the numbers. Saeed TV sent you there. You get me? Big up everyone who's locked in. We'll be back next week for the Mandem talk. For now, this is a track.
Bro on the block where guys don't make it, bro. Got try to give my facelift 2 years back on my bars were tired. Whoa, look now I'm all in their playlist. They fake it till they make it. My time will come, I just gotta be patient. Took it all and that man went low. Part of the